Good evening, everybody. So, Tuesday night. Hoping you guys enjoyed your holiday weekend. I wasn't there to see how things went in class today, so hoping everything goes well. I know you guys are kind of getting thrown into the fire a little bit here with you guys just coming into my class and me just being gone already for the next week. So I'm hoping this won't be too bad and we'll have somewhat of a fairly smooth transition. So we're going to be covering equation of a line. Over the weekend we did graphing linear equations, and now we're going to be covering equation of a line. We're going to be throwing a few other things in here, but nothing too big. So when we look at the formulas, I guess you could call them, to start with, you need to know slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. In that formula you see an m, and the m is represented by the m represents the slope. Your m is your rise over your run, or you could also say it's your y over your x. The other thing you need to know about slope is this formula right here. That is that the slope, and this is if you're given 2 points, this would be the y coordinate of the second point minus the y coordinate of the first point divided by the x coordinate of the second point minus the x coordinate of the first point. All that really matters here is that the x is on the bottom, the y is on the top, and then the other thing is that whichever one you put first, whether it's y2 or y1, it does not matter, as long as on the bottom, if you put y2 first, x2 has to come first. If you put y1 first up here, then then x1 has to come first down here. And that will give you the that will give you the slope. If you're given 2 points that are on a line but you don't have the slope. The second equation that's really important is point slope form, and what that is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and you're going to use point slope form, and the names kind of give them away. So you're going to use point slope form when you're given a point and the slope of the line. Slope intercept form is going to be when you're given the slope and the y-intercept on a line, then you'd use slope-intercept form. And the last one is standard form, which is ax plus by equals c, and that one won't be used quite as much. So let's go ahead and let's just look real briefly. We're going to start basic. You're given the slope and you're given 1 point, so I'm going to use point slope form, which was y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I will apologize now, the whole time I'm gone I forgot my little pen, which makes it a lot easier to write with, so I'm having to write with my mouse and it makes it very difficult. So this is going to be somewhat sloppy, but when I get back that won't be the case anymore. So I'm going to plug this information in. So the y stays the same, minus the y1 is from your point, so that's going to be minus 1 equals m is 2 times x minus the x1 was 3. And now you're going to just simply solve for y, but you do have to simplify the right side. So you're going to get y minus 1 equals, and I'm going to distribute the 2. So that's 2 times x is 2x minus 2 times 3 is going to be 6. And now I'm going to add 1 to both sides to get the y by itself. And just as a refresher, when you're solving, I can't add 1 and 2x together because they aren't like terms. So that's 2x, and I'll add my like terms. Negative 6 plus 1 is going to be minus 5. And here is the equation for our line. So this line, it contains this point and it has a slope of 2. When we go on to example number 2, this time I'm given 2 points, but I'm not given a slope, and I'm also not given the y-intercept or anything like that. So my suggestion is you're going to start by finding the slope. So the slope, and I gave you this information at the beginning, the slope is y2, so 2 minus y1 is 1, over x2 is 5 minus x1 is 3. And if I simplify this, 2 minus 1 is 1, and 5 minus 3 is 2. giving me a slope of 2. Now there's a couple different ways you can do it from here. I have my slope now, and I also have 2 different points. So I can use point slope form, and I can just pick one of these 2 points. Or I can also use y equals mx plus b and plug one of these in. So I will go ahead and try to show you both ways if I can real quick. So let's do point slope form first. This is y minus, and I'll use 5 and 2. So I'm going to use y minus 2, and I don't know what I just drew that for, equals m is 1/2 times x minus x1 is 5, and that is going to be y minus 2 equals 1/2, and I distribute the 1/2, so it's 1/2 x minus 1/2 times 5 is 5/2. And now I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and I get y. Try that again. I get y equals 1/2 x minus, and this is 5/2 plus 2. I'll do it off to the side up here. So this is minus 5/2 here plus 2. I have to put this over 1, get a common denominator, which means I multiply by 2/2. This gives me negative 5/2 plus 4/2, which is negative 1/2. So I'll be minus 1/2. And that gives me the equation of my line. The other way that you can do this is I can take my slope, and I can use slope-intercept form. So we've got y equals 1/2 x plus b. Well, here we need to know what b is, so I can plug one of these in for x and y and solve for b. So I'll use 1 equals 1/2 times 3 plus b. This is 3/1, so that becomes 1 equals 1 times 3 is 3/2 plus b. And now I subtract 3/2 to both sides, and that will give me b equals negative 1/2. So then I'd plug it back in, and I'd get y equals 1/2 x minus 1/2. So I get the same equation either way. Okay? And again, I do truly apologize for the sloppiness of my writing with this mouse. It's really, really difficult to do. And then for example number 3, this isn't going to be finding an equation of a line, but for example number 3, I want you to find the x and the y intercepts. So I'd like you to also find the definitions of those, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. But very simply, when you're looking for the x-intercept, for x-intercept, your y will always be 0. So I'm just going to plug that in for the y. So I get negative 2x plus 3 times 0 equals negative 9. This is negative 2x, and that's plus 0, so that's my equals negative 9. Now I'm going to divide by negative 2, and I get x equals negative 9 divided by negative 2. Those are going to become positive, and it does not simplify, so it's just going to be 9/2. And that is my answer for my x-intercept. My y-intercept is going to be exactly the opposite. For the y-intercept, x is going to be 0. So I'll plug 0 in for x, and then I'm going to solve for y. Let's see if I can rewrite that a little bit neater here. So we got plus 3y. This is 0, So that gives me 3y equals negative 9. And I'm going to divide by 3. And I get y equals negative 3. Now again, these are the values of x at the x-intercept and the value of the y at the y-intercept. But again, this would be 9 over 2, comma 0. And this one will be 0, comma negative 3. And those will be the actual points on the graph where the x and the y-intercept are. So again, we covered finding the equation of a line given 1 point, given 2 points. We also covered finding the x and the y-intercepts. And there will be some work that you guys will get on this tomorrow in class. And then we will have notes again tomorrow night as well. I look forward to getting back to see you guys in a couple days. Have a great week, and we'll see you guys later.